What's up, party people? It's your boy, your Beezy. So today I want to talk to you about something I'm not an expert in at all, but I'm going to give my 2 cents. Ain't that the truth, Roof? Isn't that what everybody does? I'm completely all in on crypto. And I want to explain my theories why. This is just whatever I am to you. I would say the general man's take, although I might not be the general man to some of you, but this is the non-financial investor's take for the common man. And I consider myself with you in the common man. I may live differently, some good, some better. I live better than some people, live worse than others. Doesn't matter, we're all common man. Then I'll explain why I'm the common man. So here's why I'm in with crypto, and I'm gonna tell you my history with the shit. Fucked up, man. I have so much history with fucking the internet. Let me give you a little backstory here. So I think the internet is kind of crazy for me the way it started. So I didn't really fuck with it. I had a computer in '95. Me and my buddy Barry bought a computer. We went in on it. I got my first holding deal, and we started writing a script. I was like, well, it was hard. I don't think we had much internet then. It was like slowly the dial-up with AOL and shit, right? So my first computer is kind of crazy, some fact for you. My first computer is a Mac. My very first money computer. I bought a nice system after I had like a little compact just to write. And I was set up by Craig Mason. Craig Mason, I haven't seen him in a while. What's up, homie? He was my boy. He did many things, but back in the day he wrote Senseless, and he wrote on the scary movies. Obviously since then he's written multiple Hangovers and multiple movies, but also he's just won Emmy. I think we'll go for Chernobyl. So much love to you, bro. He set me up because me, him, and James Gunn, what's up, James, was living in my back house, and Craig and me and him were doing a movie. And so I got set up through Apple. I never knew what to pick. They were like, you're a Microsoft guy or Apple guy. So Craig hooked it up and said, you gotta be an Apple guy. And then I remember hearing about the first big website. There was a few of them, but it was Amazon. And that was James Gunn. And I'm like, dude, where'd you get that book? Because I got some good books. He's like, Amazon! I got it all. I probably can tell for this. He told me, I never heard of Amazon until I heard that from him. So he was ahead of the game. Then I had stock in Amazon, because I sold that shit. And I'm like, I'm gonna make all this money, and I wanna quit acting, and I'm gonna move up to Silicon Valley. And I'm gonna use my fame, and I'm gonna sit in a coffee shop outside of like Palo Alto, because there's some people out there outside of Walnut Creek and shit. And I'm like, I'm just gonna hang, people are gonna recognize me, and I'm gonna fucking take like $100 grand and I'm gonna invest in shit. That's what my brain was, right? And I was just like, and I was making money on Amazon. Of course, I lost money later on when all crash happened, but at the time I was making so much fucking money that I'm like, hold that shit. And so I'm like, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna make all this money, but I'm like, I gotta quit acting. But Scream was so hot, Scream 2, and I was getting so much work. And I'm like, I can't quit acting. I love it. And I'm like, maybe I can have a representative up there. So then I tried to get this guy to do it, and he's another actor. And I'm gonna fucking name him, but he fucked me up. And then I ended up losing money when the crash happened, but that was my fault. But also, stockbrokers' fault, I had that shit. But anyway, that was the first big rush. Then I got Jamie Kenny experiment again, and I was like, people were like, buy Google. I'm like, buy Google, it's already public. I want to invest in that shit. And the internet started coming up again, and then the next wave. So I've been around, and like, I didn't meet Mark Zuckerberg. I met Sean Parker. I saw Facebook before it was gonna blow up. I tried to get in, they wouldn't let me invest. Uber won't let me invest. That's why I get pissed at all these other Hollywood investors. It's some bullshit. I'll do another video about that, but of all the fucking fake actors that invest, yeah, that's how I feel. Getting cocky with it. You know, so I was around, I remember MySpace, I was down, I never really knew Tom, but I fucked with the other people. So I saw these waves of shit coming. And me and my buddy Stu was really in it, you know, he knew this shit. And then apps and shit, so I've invested in some shit. But the problem with all that shit is, what I'm trying to tell you is, is that you gotta give your money to some fucking jerk, and then they gotta fucking trust that jerk is gonna follow through to become a unicorn. And that's the problem with investing in all this shit. Like, instead of putting a lot of money in stocks, I put a lot of money in startups. I bought a house, and then I made money off the other house, and then I put it into startups, and I invested like 14 startups, and I made money in like 1. But it doesn't matter, because you get that one, it pays for it. But there's a lot of thieves, a lot of idiots, a lot of crackheads, and just a lot of jerks. A lot of dorks. A lot of guys that can't like talk to a woman unless they like have like a Maserati because they're dorks. There's a lot of those type of dudes. So they're trying to make money to impress, to get rich, to impress a chick that they have no business talking to. That's most of the startup game. A lot of dorks got no game. Some are smart, and then they get with a cheese dick. I'm going all around. So what happens is, if you give your money to a stockbroker, these are all the videos, but you can fucking buy shit on margin. They don't tell you enough about it. Next thing you know, your shit is leveraged as a motherfucker. When that crash hits, you're fucking liquidated, and you might have to buy in, and you're like, fuck. So you learn that the hard way. Then, if you're doing startups, you got a jerk here and a jerk there and a jerk over here, and he's like, oh, I fucking invented a fucking self-sharpening pencil fucking thing, and you're like, oh, that's cool, I'm gonna do that, here's $50K. And then he's doing a rail with another dork over there trying to meet a fucking OnlyFans chick. You're like, where's my money at? And it's up his nose. So there's a lot of dorks, crooks, idiots, scumbags, people you basically want to punch in the face or hit with a ball peen hammer. So what am I trying to tell you? Or lazy or scared, all this shit. Like, you can't give your money to anybody because they're not you. Trust me, I can do a whole series on the monies I fucked up with. The fact that I'm still alive, all these scumbags that try to take my money, and the richer I get, the more I'm gonna fucking name names, and I don't give a fuck. I got lawyers on contingency all day. So why am I giving you this backstory? Because crypto! Why am I all in on crypto? Well, so I knew all this shit was going on, and I was trying to fucking make moves. And the reason I always invested in other shit besides Hollywood is because Hollywood was dirty. When I invested in kicking in old school, I lost money, but I believed in it, and then I had to give it to people. I should do a whole thing on investing. I knew about Bitcoin. So in 2012, there was this chick that worked for me, and she's like, I know a miner. So I'm like, here's $5,000, give it to the fucking miner, get a computer, and fucking mine Bitcoin, right? Because there wasn't any exchanges. I gave the fucking money. The fucking miner never really mined, and then Silk Road happened, and people were like, Bitcoin's drug money, and all this shit. I'm like, then I was in Vegas, and I have a Bitcoin somewhere on a computer. I can't find it, and I was given a Bitcoin, or part of Bitcoin, at CES. So I knew about this shit, and I remember the Winklevi and all that shit when they were getting in. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? How do I get? And then like, I just stopped following it, and then it just kept popping up. I need to mine this shit, do all this shit. And then I'm like, oh, then they made it better because they started opening these exchanges. So I don't know when they started opening these fucking exchanges, but that's when I'm like, okay, that's good, that's easy now. And Robinhood popped up and stuff, although Robinhood stinks. Everybody will tell you that. So I'm like, oh, this is better, you know? So we can just buy it, right? So I heard about, so I bought a little bit of Bitcoin, not much. I wanted to buy ETH a couple years ago, and bought some, a little bit. And I'm like, the fucking pandemic was hitting and shit, so I'm just like, I'm gonna fucking buy doggy. So I bought a good amount of doggy, and I got it good. Suffice to say, since that thing, I've been fucking deep in the fucking game of watching people, and I've got my hands in it. But why is crypto so why am I all in? I'm gonna tell you why. This is to combat an institutional investor who just told somebody this, and I have to have an argument with him. The institutional investor, who's a Merrill Lynch person, said, well, it's basically a Ponzi scheme, and you have to get other people to believe in it. So then what happens is then the value goes up, and then if someone pulls the money out, then the rug is this. Okay, that all makes sense, and that is all correct. But my argument is this. The whole financial system is a Ponzi scheme. So crypto is no less authentic than anything else in. So what do I mean by that? This is all the shit they should teach you in school, so let me help you. The gold standard. Gold is an element. For some reason, it has value in our world. I am not a scientist. Someone will tell me. That gold backed every dollar we ever put in circulation. This is basic 101. I'm sure most of you guys know this. And it was called the gold standard. So it was like $10 million in gold, $10 million in circulation. Before I was born, I think the late 60s, Nixon fucking said, we're off the gold standard. And bam, they just start printing money. And that's how inflation happens and deflation and all this shit. So my whole life, money has already been a con. Like it was kind of legit until that happened. So they started printing money, which essentially means they're putting paper into the financial circulation, which really doesn't match up with the amount of gold that can back it up. So really, it's just paper. It's legal tender. So you're going, what the fuck do you know? Well, because I'm breaking it down for the most common thing, because this is what we all should know, right? Like, fuck all these financial fake gurus, right? So, I don't even want to tell you what's happened since 2008, the bailouts, the fucking printing more money. They literally just made money. Went to a fucking printing press, goes, Shearson Brothers here, or whatever, Lehman Brothers, here's 30 billion, we just printed it, take it. Okay, you're out of debt. Like, you could give them a fucking bag of coffee beans. There you go, you're out of debt. Like, it's no different, right? But since it's money, looks like money, it's money, right? But it's bullshit. So our whole system is way fucking infiltrated with all this fake money. So already money is not really worth anything. But what is money worth? It's worth nothing. Let's just go back to basic time. Hello, neighbor. I like your cow. I need milk for me and my neighbor. I will give you this bag of beans for 1 cup of milk. Boom! It's called the barter system. Yo, man, it happens every day in Las Vegas. All for free on Street. You know what I'm saying? It's what it's worth, right? What are you willing to pay? A $10 bill is nothing. But at Shake Shack, you get me a burger and a fucking fry. Do I think that's valuable? Yes. Here's this paper with a $10 on it. Give me that. I'll eat that. I win. You really don't win because you got paper, but society values that paper. So now you got that. But you really don't have anything. I got the goods and the services. You got the paper. But hey, that's how our society is set up, right? So, okay. So the barter system became legal tender, became gold piece, became legal tender. Okay, it started with beans, then it became gold pieces and coins, then it became paper and legal tender, then it became credit, now it's crypto. It makes complete sense. Now you're going to say, well, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. But that's not true. Yes, it is nothing, but so are stocks. When you buy a stock, it's just a valuation. It's literally what McConaughey said. It's fucking air. Like, it's true, right? So you may have 10 SHIB, and the Merrill Lynch guy goes, well, you have nothing. No, you don't. You do, because somebody out in this ecosystem values 10 SHIB. So you can go on Amazon. They're going to open up payments for SHIB. Tesla's going to take SHIB payments. This currency is going to be a digital currency, and people are valuing it. So if people are valuing it, and you have it, and it's in the blockchain ledger that shows that this is the authentic one, it's no different. But that's just the basic common knowledge of against hard money. Okay. The next thing is that there's Ponzi schemes and everything. When things go public, motherfucking companies go up 10x, people pull the money out, they go down. The investor's holding their dick. But that shit happens all the time. Way overinflated. Here's another one. Netflix, you could argue is a Ponzi scheme. There's many videos of it. Don't get mad. I love you, Netflix. Don't cry. But it's true. It's really simple. Okay? Let me compare Netflix to a Tubi. Okay? Netflix gets all your money. Get your subscribers up. They take that money and then they make content. 10 times. Well, I don't know, the average studio is $2 billion or something. Like, that's a lot. Netflix does like 10 times. Like, they're just destroying. They're just a monster, right? 20 billion, 25 billion, let's say, in a year they'll spend in content, which is insane, right? So what they do, they take your money, make all this content. Hopefully you keep paying to keep it afloat. They put the content out. Hopefully it works. Then they collect more money, feed the machine. See it? That don't work unless you keep feeding that beast, right? Just with the money. The money don't work if no one values it, right? Now, let's go deeper. Tubi basically is a one-ended system. Tubi, you give all your content to them for free. It's not SVOD, which is subscription video on demand. It's AVOD, which is ad video on demand. Meaning, you give them their shit, and you wait till the end of the month, and they show you the ads that are run against it. You trust their system, which is usually transparent, and then you get your cut from Tubi. So if you have content, you will make money, but you're not relying on getting money for it. You have to give them that. So in a nutshell, they have to rely on advertisers, but they don't have to rely on subscription. And that will grow because the content will get more premium and people will eventually get tired of paying a subscription. It's my opinion, for a small thing. So it becomes the new TV. But what I'm trying to tell you is they do not have to rely on you. They have to rely that you watch it. But they don't have to reach into your wallet. They fucking get your eyeballs for free, and if there's enough eyeballs, then they get Pepsi, they throw them an ad, and then they cut. Does that make sense? It's a different system. So to me, it's less of a Ponzi scheme. Now, let's go to crypto. Crypto is its own ecosystem. It's decentralized, which people say, well, that's dangerous, crooks and that. Yeah, of course, 100%. People can hack wallets, all of this stuff. But also, you know who else are crooks? The financial system. They're crooks. They're just fucking legal crooks. They confuse everything. They write all these fucking financial packages. They fucking steal from Peter to pay Paul. Junk bonds. All this stupid shit, man. So they are crooks. And you know they're crooks. But here's the issue. It's a small fucking boys club that no one can get in. Crypto is decentralized. Anybody can get in. All you have to do is have a smartphone and download the app. Guess who doesn't like that? The big club. Guess what you're not doing? Touching their fucking money. Guess what you're doing? You're pulling the Jim Harbaugh. Who's got it better than us, huh? The party's right here. It's like, that's how I have to act in my life. Like, crypto is basically saying, keep your money, keep your credit. We'll take some of the stuff we made in your world. We're going to put it over here. We're going to buy NFTs. We're going to buy apes. We're going to buy fucking lazy lions. We're going to buy fucking shibs. That's got nothing to do with you, Wall Street. We're here. And we're having a party. And guess what? You can't get your hands on it. You can't fuck with it. Okay, you don't like it? That's all right. We do. This guy that sells bombs, he'll take X amount of Doge for this. Or this guy that makes a pizza, he'll take this. Or this guy wants to sell me a house. This is our own economy. You see where I'm going with this? You go over there. We're fine. I'll buy some fucking homemade honey from this little hipster right here. And I'm going to give her fucking moon coin. And this guy's going, oh, it's got nothing to do with you, Henry. Okay? So it doesn't matter. If goods and services are being traded within this ecosystem, fuck that ecosystem. Because there's food, there's clothing, there's everything over there, right? Their own financial services. It's fucking great. But that's not even why yet. It's also decentralized. So they don't get their fucking nose in it. It's gonna make them mad. That's another reason why it works. Here's another reason why. China just banned it. You know why? Because China can't fucking control it. These are everybody who's railing against it. You have to look at what their motives are. Yes, it's dangerous, but so is getting in a fucking taxi. Now look, that's not even the reason. That's just some of the reason. But here's the real reason. And most of these old heads won't get it because they're not forward thinking. They go behind. Here's the real reason why I'm on it. And this is old, but it's simple, but people really don't realize it yet. So Palmer Luckey, I remember seeing that project on, was it Indiegogo or Kickstarter? And he fucking was this little super genius in Long Beach, and I wish I invested. I wish I knew the kid. I would have gave him about half of it. He basically created his first rough together Oculus, I think it was like 7 or 8 years ago. And I'm like, that's fucking brilliant. He started making them, he sold out, they needed like 100,000, he raised like 2 million, it was insane. Palmer Luckey. Facebook buys it, I think, for 2. Palmer walks away with 1, like 24 million. And then so mysteriously he's out of the company. There's rumors that he was like a Trump or, I don't know, the guy who invented Oculus. So I think he should always have an office. Long story not boring. We're in basically like the brick phone of cell phones with Oculus. We're at like the Motorola brick. We're at like the Scream set brick phone, which was like, oh, can I use the set phone? 25 years ago. That's where we're at with Oculus. And it's fucking amazing. It's the first thing I ever put on that I didn't feel I was there. Meaning there's that Calm app or whatever the fuck it is. You float and I don't do it enough. I should do it every day, but I'm too busy in this stupid fucking world. And I felt like I was out of my body. I'm dead serious. And this was like the basic app that came with it. So what am I trying to tell you? You know where I'm going. The people that don't know, okay? The Matrix was a documentary, all right? Ready Player One was a documentary, okay? Anybody who knows this knows this. Anybody who doesn't, just turn off my channel, man. Get left behind. Adapt or die. I'm gonna say it again. Ready Player One was a documentary, okay? Mark buys fucking Oculus because he knows he can't just be a fucking MySpace 2.0. His brilliance is fucking adapting everything. He's in so many lanes. Incredible, right? Who knew that basically Instagram was gonna prop Facebook up like that? But you got Instagram and then you got WhatsApp, right? But you haven't even begun to feel the wrath of Oculus. Do you understand? That's when Facebook did Meta. Great name. 10 years ago, Black Mirror. This is all, you have to start, I'm sure you already seen all this, but this is just basic, this is entry-level stuff. Meta, Black Mirror predicted it 10 years ago. Ghost Whisperer about 11 years ago. I remember we did an Avatar episode. Avatar predicted it. The pandemic, digital currency, all the stuff, where can we go where I don't fucking start freaking people out and they start saying stuff. The physical world is a wrap. It's donezo, right? How many people would rather reinvent themselves than escape? If you think people come to Hollywood to reinvent themselves, if you think people reinvent themselves on Instagram and filter, what do you think they're gonna do in fucking VR? What do you think they're gonna do in Meta? It's a wrap. The future is Wall-E. Remember I said that. Chairs, fucking goggles. You are going to go to places that you can't go. Especially with all the other stuff going on that we can't fucking talk about. And a lot of people are like, well, I've already been here. I'm fine. People are like, well, you can't go to Sweden. I got an Oculus. I'm fine. That's what I'm trying to say. If you think you're in your phone now, you are never getting out. I know I'm not. I fucking love it. Take me away. So this physical world with which we interact is fine. But there's going to be meetings and talks and relationships and businesses. There's going to be billionaires, trillionaires, all in this fucking lane. Whole worlds. People are never going to take these things off. It's done. I know, I'm crazy. Sure, there's going to be the other people who are like, you got to get out there and hunt. Get out there and smell the roses. Okay, great. Cool. I'm going to go now and play with my best friend who's a Python. And we're gonna play Fortnite inside of Fortnite as we watch Scream 3 and the alternate verse where Randy didn't walk in front of the van. I mean, I'm serious. Like, that's where we're headed. That's where we're there, okay? Up north, this shit's already happening. It just hasn't released the general pop yet. So, all that goes back to what am I talking about? Are you gonna take your dollar and you're gonna go, hey man, I'd like to buy a fucking virtual Coke on this virtual fucking date. Here's my fucking physical dollar. No, you putz. You're gonna have to spend. And you're gonna have to get some KuCoin. So that is why it is so valuable. Because if you believe that everyone has a telephone, Bill Gates, before he became everyone's enemy, had the dream of a computer on every desk running Microsoft software. Well, that's done. Congratulations, he did that. Steve Jobs, a phone in every hand. Congratulations, that's done. These are just, boom, this is our face. There's people in huts in the Congo, like, yo, dude, I can't get service. Like, everyone has this. This is the next evolution of that. And you can't take money in there. Sure, you can take Visa, I guess. That's just another form of money. Just like crypto is. It's just another form of money. You can spend it in the real world, but it's gonna be a necessity otherverse. So, even if 20% of the people in the world go to that world, that's a valuable system. And crypto shoots up. Yeah, you can get in, you can get out, whatever. I actually believe it's going to have real world applications, like I said. So I think, there's some flyers out there. Obviously, you're going to take some hits, but I think that there's some that are really going to just go. They're going. I think they're going to blow up. So that's my opinion. I said it. I'm not allowed to give financial advice. I'm not. It is my opinion. Don't listen to old heads. Listen to them on like the runs and stuff. The real world is a wrap. We are going to live online. Guys, if you like me and you hanging out, push that button, subscribe, hit that bell, leave a comment. You know what's up. Love you.
I don't feel like anyone's talking. They're blockers. That's not why I came to help you. Fucking backwards. Bullshit.
I hate to break it to you.